Standard operating procedure for a CIA operation at the time was that you would send one, maybe two officers out to a foreign country where they would not overlap, and then they would carry out independent operations and then come back to their home base and report their information. When we had to build a new style of operation, my wife and her experience in her role as a targeter identified that the most difficult target for us to track was a terrorist target. And then she leaned on me and my experience chasing terrorists in the field to confirm her suspicion, but also to kind of create operational practices that mimicked terrorist networks. The way they move money, the way they communicate, the way they decentralize information and command and control. And that foundation in terrorism became the model for our new operational process. So as we built our shadow cell, the reason we called it a cell was because it was based off of a terrorist cell. We created minimal access to the people who were inside. We created a firewall essentially between the leadership at CIA and the leadership of the cell in the field, so that there was only one pass-through, one connection between the two groups. And then we made me the pass-through for those two groups, because if my cover gets blown or if I'm the one that gets captured, that would give CIA and the operators in the cell a heads up that something was wrong. It would help them find the mole at CIA, but it would help us keep our operators safe in the field, because the mole would never be able to find the operators. The mole would only be able to find me. According to CIA headquarters, my job was to orchestrate, develop, and essentially deploy the cell. It was an administrative job. But the senior operator inside the cell thought differently because of my experience at the farm. So when he found out that I was both administratively certified and operationally capable, he made a field call to actually start using me in the field to deploy into hostile territory. And that made our cell really much more capable and effective than previous CIA operations. I could essentially go in advance of any case officer, and I could handle all of the administrative footwork in the country itself. And if people want to know what administrative footwork looks like at CIA, it means you're the one who buys the expensive whiskey on a fake credit card. You're the one who smuggles in bundles of cash and hides it under a bridge. You're the one who travels from country to country to get throwaway cell phones and then puts those throwaway cell phones in secret places throughout a target location. So now when the case officers land in country, they don't have to create any footprint for themselves.